today we're doing another movie review. And this time, instead of doing a movie that I personally really like, today we're going to be taking a look at a movie that I recently saw, and it's called, you guys may have heard of it, it's called Ice Age: The Adventures of Buck Wild. I've seen this on Disney Plus. This was probably one of the most anticipated movies of this year for me. When I first heard that they were making a TV show about the adventures of Buck, probably one of the best side characters of the Ice Age franchise, I immediately wanted to see it, and I was very anticipating. Then when I went on Disney Plus a couple days ago and I saw this movie, I thought it was a TV show. It is a movie for some reason. I thought it was a TV show. I'm pretty sure it was going to be a TV show, but for some reason they made it into a movie, which wasn't really a great thing for me. I prefer a TV show because well, not gonna, whatever. But let's just say before we get into any spoilers about this, first of all, spoilers, because please don't watch this movie for your time's sake. But just for your sanity, I did the watching for you guys, so you don't have to watch this god awful movie. But as you can tell by the language that I'm using, I do not like this movie. This movie was a huge disappointment for me. Completely shattered my expectations. I knew that it was not going to be the greatest film, but I was still looking really forward to it. Buck was one of my favorite characters of the Ice Age franchise, especially Ice Age 3, and he was probably the only good part of Ice Age 5. And that movie is just god awful in many directions, but Buck somehow made it entertaining for most of us. But this movie did not need to exist. It has been 6 years since Ice Age 5 had came out, and we thought that Ice Age was done. It was completely done. But they decided to, since Blue Sky Studios has shut down, this movie was made by a different studio, as you can tell from the animation quality and also from the voice actors. This movie did not need to exist. And why did it need to exist? I'll tell you why it needed to exist. It existed mostly because for money. Money, obviously. Money's always involved with movies. But there's a difference of making a movie with the amount of money and working on a movie that you actually care about and then earning money. And then there's people like this company that made this movie. I don't know what the company's name is. Well, I actually do know the company's name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, this film was mainly made for money. And as you can tell, it's probably not going to make its money back. So, as you can tell from the animation quality, they probably spent about 10 cents on the animation quality. I can forgive bad animation, alright? I am not the greatest at animation, and I know how hard it can be. Since my animations are 2D, they are still equally hard. But working on something that's 3D is probably even 20 times harder. And trying to work around budgeting for your animation, there's a really great example of this. Hoodwink. Hoodwink is a movie, it's an animated movie, which is about like fairy tale characters, which is actually a really great movie. I actually really enjoy that. A lot of people don't really, it's a very underrated movie, and people say that it sucks, which most people would disagree with those people, mostly because it's a really great story, and it's really unique. But the main obvious difference is it's not your average animation film because of the animation quality. They had a really low budget with that film, but they worked around the animation quality and made it actually a really great movie. So if you can forgive the animation and work and look at the story and the characters, then the animation becomes part of the story. But this, on the other hand, this animation is god awful. Not completely god awful, mind you. There are some actual great, I guess, good looking moments in the film. But most of the time, the animation is garbage. Another, at the beginning of the movie, which is cave drawings, which explains what happened in the other movies, which we didn't need to explain. If you already know with the Ice Age movies, you wouldn't really need to have an intro with explaining all the other movies at the beginning of this movie. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But when Ellie is speaking to I don't know who she's speaking to, us, the viewer, she's breaking the fourth wall. She's speaking to the viewer. But the mouth when I was noticing, I was like, that mouth is just garbage. The way her mouth moves, the way the fur of her cheeks and the mouth moving, it just doesn't. It just looks bad. But I'm pretty sure that it's budgeting. But let's talk about the story first. Story, very, very bland. Basically, Crash and Eddie are they want to become more mature, so they want to go into the lost world and find Buck so they can live a life with him, which is weird. Why would you do that in the first place? I mean, it's kind of a good thing that they want to become more mature because in the other films they were really immature. They had some funny moments, but other than that, it was pretty bad. But I don't know why they needed to do that. And basically, when they find Buck, Buck tells them to get out because there's this main bad guy, Orson. Oh my God, Orson! What a scary villain. No. Basically, he is he's racist to mammals. All right, he wants all mammals to be destroyed, and he wants to rule the lost world as its king, its rightful ruler. We'll talk about Orson in a little bit, but that's basically the point. And then Manny and all the other characters, which are not even the main characters, they want to find Eddie and bring them, Crash and Eddie, and bring them back. And then they fall into the lost world as well. And then dumb characters ensue. So that's the main story. That's literally the story. I'm not even joking. I'm probably sugarcoating it for you guys, but that's literally the story. What a terrific plot, guys! What a terrific plot! That is the greatest plot I've ever seen in a movie. Oh my. Give it a round of applause. Stop clapping! This does not deserve clap. You know what this deserves? This deserves none of your time. This movie does not deserve your watch. It does not deserve your money. And I swear to God, if I see that this movie even made a cent, I will legit have lost faith in humanity. My faith in humanity has already gone down the drain, but it's going to go down the drain, into the sewer, into the ocean, and then probably be evaporated into space. And then probably rain down because I actually care about humanity. But other than that, let's talk about the characters. Characters in this are bland. Like everything in this movie, the characters are bland. The only good thing, the only saving grace of this film is Buck himself. Simon Pegg returns to his role as he should be. By the way, speaking of voice actors, Simon Pegg is the only actor that actually reprises the role. He is returning as Buck, but all the other people, since this was made by a different studio, they could not afford the actors to play their characters. Some of the actors who voiced some of the main characters, like Manny and Diego, especially Manny. Manny is probably the only good actor that actually probably did a really good job at portraying Manny. The really struggle one was Sid. The actor who played Sid in this movie is trying to do like a really crappy Sid impression. You know like those really crappy voice impressions that you see on TikTok or YouTube, and then they come to Sid and it just sounds really awful, and you're like, oh my God, that is cringe. This is that Sid actor. It was really bad. I did not like it at all. And basically all the other characters, they're bland. Crash and Eddie are a little bit less annoying, actually. I'm pretty sure they are not that annoying. I'm pretty surprised. They actually have a little bit of character to them, which I was surprised by. And they're not like they weren't really that annoying. I was really surprised by that. So I guess another plus. A very letdown. As you know me, I love movies. But another thing that I love with movies and TV shows are their villains. There are really great villains, like Pixar villains, for example. Terrific ones. I love Pixar villains, especially the ones in the edit and the video that I made a while back. I love those villains for reasons I've already stated. They're just really great characters, great voice acting. But Orson, on the other hand, my God, what have they done to Orson? Orson could have been a really intimidating villain, he looks like a bulldog. Or a pug, I should say. He looks like a pug. A triceratops with a pug body. He just doesn't look intimidating. And his backstory of why he wants to, they don't even get to his backstory. The only time they ever mention Orson's backstory is with Buck saying that he wants to. Well, actually, Orson said that he was bullied because of his huge, ginormous, big brain. Yes, Orson has become the living embodiment of a meme. Dude, his crest literally covers his gigantic, bulbous, alien-like big brain. Oh my god, I literally laughed out loud. I'm not even joking. When I saw that movie, I was like, why does it have a huge crest? Is that just like is that just a thing? Is that like a character design? And then he turns his head around, and then he's like, look at my enormous big brain. And I literally laughed out loud because I was like, oh my god, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen ever. But he's not even that intimidating. Like I said before, he's not intimidating. I mean, he has a pack of raptors, which could have been a really intimidating thing, because, you know, a giant army of raptors is pretty goddamn scary. But no, bad. Complete bad. I hate it. I hate him. I hate it with a passion. And then they introduced this new character called Z, which apparently Buck had a team of superheroes, which that is the most cringe and cheesy and corny thing I've ever heard in my life. Apparently, it was made up of Z, Buck, and three other mammals that lived in the underground, and Orson freaking killed him. Orson killed him. He literally ambushed Buck. Buck Wild. You do not ambush Buck Wild, alright? You do not ambush him. But somehow Orson, the biggest brain has ever existed, ambushed Buck Wild and killed 3 of his teammates. And they never appeared in the film again. He literally took a giant trunk of a tree, lit it on fire, and flung it towards them. Z and Buck got out of the way, but the 3 team members got shoved off a cliff. My god, Orson has been taking over Scar now. He wants to rule the Lost World, and he killed 3 of Buck's teammates off of a cliff. Oh my god, I laughed out loud too. I was like, oh my god, there's actually death in this movie. There's death! There's actual death! Which I was not expecting. I mean, there has been a couple of deaths in the franchise before, especially the first one, with Manny's family and all that. But, they literally show them falling off the cliff in slow motion, and you're supposed to be like, oh my god, that is horrifying. I just laughed the entire time, and I was like, oh my god, they just did some death in this movie. Oh my god. But Z, on the other hand, is probably some internet's fetish. Because, my god, some of these animators need to go to horny jail. Because, my god, they made her thick. They made her thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. I'm not even joking. But on the other end, and apparently there's this side plot about how, like, Crash and Eddie are like, oh, your name is Z? It must stand for something else. And then Z is like, oh, my name doesn't stand for anything. It's just Z. And then, apparently, I can't even remember what they told, why she only has a letter for her name. They probably told him, but I don't care at all. But Mama Rex comes back, which is great. I like to see that. And it was also kind of funny. It was also kind of fun to see Mama Rex and Sid reunite. I wish the babies were there, like a little bit grown up as well, like a team of T-Rexes. That would have been cool. But no, that would have made the movie too good. And we don't want the movie to be too good. And I'm going to be like a little childish here. Ever since Dawn of the Dinosaurs came out, I have rewatched that movie time and time again. And probably the most memorable villains of the franchise is Rudy. Everybody loves Rudy. Trust me, guys. Two of my most popular videos are about Rudy. So there are a lot of people that like Rudy out there. And by the way, I'm not even doing an animation of Rudy, so probably stay tuned for that. But on the other hand, other than Ice Age 3 and a small tidbit of Ice Age 4 when Scrat is falling from the earth and he comes into the Lost World and you can see Rudy getting Buck riding Rudy. And that was the only tidbit. And other than that, no mention of him whatsoever. And I was really looking forward to this movie because Buck comes back, and I was expecting Rudy to come back because we haven't heard anything to do with Rudy at all. Nothing, completely nothing. And spoilers yet again, because I'm spoiling the hell out of this movie. Basically, they travel on this boat, and they go to this lost lagoon to find a dinosaur that could help them defeat Orson and his army of raptors that he controls with fire. I forgot to mention that he controls raptors with fire. Man, is that scary. Very intimidating. An army of raptors should have been scary. Not intimidating. No. Cool. No. Nothing. But other than that, Buck says that we're going to find somebody who can help us deal with this problem that we're facing. Let's go on this amazing journey. And when they come to the Lost Lagoon, it comes into a close-up of the forest. And you're stomping, and I thought it was going to be Rudy. No, it was Mama Rex. Which, I mean, is fine. I'm not complaining. Actually, I am complaining. I'm not complaining about Mama Rex. I'm complaining that we didn't get any information about Rudy. I've looked on the internet for the longest time to what happened to Rudy. The Wikipedia of Rudy right here does not entail what happened to him. I've not seen anybody talk about this. The only two things that we get of Rudy is from Ice Age 3 and a snippet of Ice Age 4. I would have loved, I didn't care. It could have been like a picture of the cave drawing at the beginning of this movie where Ellie's explaining the backstory of all the other characters and the plots of the other movies, which we didn't need. I could have been happy if there was a cave painting of Rudy chasing Buck. Even if there was a mention of Rudy, like, oh, we got scared by this giant dinosaur called Rudy, that would have been cool. I would have agreed with that. Or we could have actually seen him in this film. That would have made the film a little bit better, to be honest with you. Rudy coming down out of the forest, Buck riding him, and getting, destroying the Velociraptor army and killing Orson. That would have made the movie. I'll give it one of these if that was happening. But no! None of that! None of that happened in this film, which was very disappointing. The only reason why I wanted that, as I said before, was because Buck was returning, and I was hoping that Rudy was going to return as well. But no. That would have also made the movie too good. These companies need to stop making these movies, okay? They need to stop. They keep doing... Disney, what are you doing? You have ruined Okay, you have not ruined Star Wars. You've only ruined Star Wars with the sequels. Keep doing with The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett. Keep doing those. Please make them good. Please keep making them fantastic. But stop trying to milk franchises dry, especially with the Ice Age franchise. This movie is a cash grab, and is milking this movie, this franchise dry. Like, there's gonna be no milk on this franchise. There's gonna be no milk because they have drained it. They have drained this cow dry. They are not making any profit of it. Like I said before, if it does make profit, I'm going to be very upset with humanity. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. Sorry for going off a little tangent there, but my God, please do not watch this movie. If you are a fan of the Ice Age franchise and you want to see your favorite character, Buck, return, go right ahead. I would love to see that. Let me know what you guys think of this movie in the comments below. In my opinion, I hate this movie, and it's a waste of my time, and I hope you don't see this movie, because it's going to be a waste of your time. But anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. So, like, comment, subscribe. I don't care what to do, but you guys know what time it is. So, bye, guys.